Don't date a single mom. Don't date a single mom if you don't have your life together.
If you're dating a single mom, you should know you're not going to be her #1 priority.
A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms. Not because they're bad people, okay? But because of the baggage that comes with it.
That right there is the truth. And many of these single mothers think it's because of hate.
So I have officially cut off the firefighter. He's no longer on my roster.
People who hate on single moms are so disgusting. Truly, you're so disgusting. Especially if it's coming out of a man's mouth.
As a woman, if you already got kids and you're looking for a relationship,
No one's denying that it's tough. But don't expect single men to step up and play daddy. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Dating as a single mom is so hard because we've already been a wife that I can't be a girlfriend. I don't want to do the whole, what's your favorite color? What's this? I literally baked a man banana bread, chocolate chip banana bread for our first date because the bar is literally in hell. I cannot, one, baby another man, two, spend all my time with another man. I got too much shit on my plate to deal with this. So call me celibate until further notice.
I think I'm gonna be single forever. Single moms, how do you do this? Like, dating is already hard. Dating is difficult itself. And when you have kids, it's like impossible. Like, how am I gonna find a guy? Like, I'm not just thinking about myself now, I'm thinking about me and my kids to find a guy. Like, I've been thinking about like, alright, like let's just open up to the dating world, see what's going on. I don't know, like I don't know how to act. I don't know how to look for someone. Like, it was already difficult when I didn't have kids. Now I have to think of finding a man that is gonna be a good man to my kids. That is gonna be a good stepdaddy. That is gonna be a good role model. Like, how do you girls manage that? Like, how do you get back to it? I haven't been in dating world for more than 3 years. Like, give me your tips. How did you find a man after you became a single mama? Because this mama here is so lost. Do I go in dating apps? Do I just go out? I mean, I haven't even been out in so long. I don't feel like it. Help a mama here. Tell me in the comments all the advice you have for single moms in dating. Yes. Besides, I love you, Miami. Like, the worst city to date. Thank you.
As she said, she's thinking about her and her kids when trying to find a guy. And that's what makes it hard, because most men today aren't willing to step into that role. And honestly, that's their choice. But here's the deeper truth. A lot of men feel like they're being asked to fix a situation they didn't create. At the same time, from her perspective, she's not necessarily wrong for wanting stability or a man who can fit into her life and her children's lives. The problem is that both sides are looking for something that rarely aligns anymore. Women seeking emotional and financial support, and men seeking peace and fairness. Add to that the fact that modern dating has made trust harder to build, and you've got a situation where men avoid single mothers not out of cruelty, but out of self-preservation. It's not that they hate responsibility. They just want to invest in something that feels equal and genuine, not transactional.
If you're dating a single mom, you should know you're not going to be her #1 priority. The kids will always come first. Just a heads up. This is giving that she actually is a good parent. I mean, if she's not, then you don't want to date her at all, because that says a lot about somebody. But yeah, that's just a heads up. You're welcome.
Red flag, green flag, dating edition, because I'm going on it. I wouldn't even say a date tonight because this is never going to be my man. But we're doing shit for shits and giggles these days, so we're going on a date. But this man's coming from LA to take me out to dinner. Earlier, he texts me and he's like, hey, do you want to meet there or do you want me to pick you up? And I'm like, whatever's easier for you. So like 20 minutes ago, he texted me like, hey, it's going to be like an hour and 20 minutes to get there. I'll just Uber you. Then like 10 minutes goes by and he's like, actually, here's money, Uber yourself. I think that's bare fucking minimum. Like, if you're not picking me up, order me a fucking Uber and tell me it's outside. Am I wrong?
So you mean to tell me women don't use men for meals? I mean, she said it herself. She doesn't even like this guy, knows he won't be her man, but is still willing to go out with him because it'll be a great time. That right there tells you everything you need to know. She's not interested in him. She's interested in what she can get out of him. And the crazy part is, this kind of mindset has become normalized. A lot of women openly admit to going on dates just for the experience, the food, or the attention. Not because they see potential in the man. They treat it like a social outing, while the guy is investing his time, money, and effort, genuinely hoping to build something. And what's even more crazy about this is that even though he didn't pick her up, he still gave her money to call herself an Uber, and she still says it's the bare minimum. Think about that. She's expecting princess treatment from a guy she's already said will never be her man. The entitlement is unreal.
Dating these days is hard enough, but let alone dating a single parent, that's even harder. It's not as easy as just going out. We have to think and arrange childcare, and it's not just our feelings we have to think of either as the kids, because in the future and down the line, the kids are a part of it as well. So just try and bear with a single parent if you're going out and dating, because it's not as easy as it is for someone who hasn't got a kid. So just bear with someone who has got a child, because it's not as easy as what you think.
This one will sting, but it's the truth. A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms, not because they're bad people, okay, but because of the baggage that comes with it. Let's break it down, shall we? A divorced woman usually carries emotional scars. She's been through betrayal, conflict, failure, child custody, and often she hasn't healed from it. That pain doesn't just disappear. It bleeds into the next relationship. Men can feel that bitterness, that distrust, and most don't want to pay for what the last man did. Now let's talk about the single moms. It's not just about dating her. It's about inheriting her past. The ex is always in the picture. The baby daddy will be forever tied to her and her child. And no matter how great the guy is, he's never the first priority. Her kids will be. And they should be. The child should come first. But most men aren't signing up to be second place in their own relationship. It doesn't mean divorced women or single moms can't find love. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean the pool is smaller, because men weigh these realities before committing to somebody. So stop shaming men for wanting less baggage. It's not hate, it's honesty. If you want a high value man, you've got to bring more than wounds and history to the relationship. You have to bring healing, peace, and partnership, because that's what men stay for.
I agree completely. And another reason why men won't date divorced women or single mothers is because, by that point, many of them are set in their ways and become difficult to deal with. It's not even about hating them. It's about not wanting to constantly fight uphill battles in a relationship. When a woman has already lived independently for years or raised kids on her own, she often develops a my way or no way mindset, and that makes it hard for a man to lead or even coexist peacefully. Many of these women, especially single mothers, take rejection personally and think men hate them because they don't want to date them. But that's not the case. Men just don't want the stress that comes with being in a relationship where they're always being compared to an ex, competing with the kids for attention, or feeling like they're trying to fit into a life that's already been structured without them.
Being a single mom is so damn hard. You are the provider, the disciplinary, the comforter, the teacher, the best friend. You are literally everything all in one. And some days you just feel like you are completely failing at it, let alone trying to take care of your own self and your own mental health. And it's like days like today where I get called in to go to assembly because my son is getting an award because he is such a good role model and a really kind person. And it's just like, you did that. You are raising a kind, happy, healthy boy. And it's just like, I need to remember in moments like this, days are hard, sleep is rare, but you're doing a fucking good job.
So I have officially cut off the firefighter. He's no longer on my roster. I texted him just now that I'm just not feeling this dynamic. And I know I talked about it already, that he was just overly sexual. It was just too much. And I was like, all right, we're just going to keep feeling it out, because everyone was like, oh, it was your fault. Like, you started that, whatever. Even if it was me, maybe it was. It's very surface level. It's very sexual. He doesn't ask me questions like much about myself or my kids or my husband or anything like that. It's always just like, oh, you're so hot. You're so sexy. When we FaceTime, we'll have like a little bit of like catching up, like, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. And it always comes back to like, oh, you're so hot. Show me your boobies. Oh, you're so hot. Show me your ass. And it's like, are we 12? Like, I get it. I appreciate you appreciating me, what I work hard for. But at some point, there's gotta be like, you gotta like ask some questions. Like, you gotta intrigue me, because I'm like, ew, it's kind of like an ew, you know, it's an ick. So yeah, that's the update on the firefighter. He's kind of cut off. He's cut off. So, that leaves a spot. No, for nobody on here. I'm filling a spot soon, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully. I don't know. But yeah, dating. It's really fun.
If anything, I'd say this man absolutely dodged a bullet. Any woman who's comfortable juggling multiple men at the same time, keeping a roster like it's normal, is a walking red flag. That kind of behavior shows she's not looking for anything serious. She's looking for entertainment, attention, and validation. She's treating men like temporary experiences, not real connections. And the part that really stands out is when she said he didn't ask her about her husband. Like, why would he even have to? If she's still married, separated, or freshly divorced, that's already a huge issue. Unless her husband is deceased, there's no reason she should be dating or entertaining new men while still tied to someone else. It shows a lack of closure, a lack of accountability, and honestly a lack of respect for both men involved. This is exactly the kind of situation that makes men cautious. They never know what they're walking into.
Men don't date ugly women, so why can women only like men with money? Ready? Let's go. First of all, the freedom of speech in social media is killing me. I date ugly women all the time. Actually, I prefer it. They seem to be more humble and easy to get along with. No sense of entitlement, and I especially like their confidence, because all the ugly girls I've dated say they were a 10, so I went with it. Are you kidding? Dudes would date a rock if the rock was kind to us. Her looks will fade, but her personality is forever. Only women are obsessed with appearance. Okay, next one is a poem. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. A pretty woman makes her husband look small and very often causes his downfall. As soon as he married her, and then she starts to do the things that will break his heart. But if you make an ugly woman your wife, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. An ugly woman cooks meals on time. She'll always give you peace of mind. Don't let your friends say you have no taste. Go ahead and marry anyway. Though her face is ugly, her eyes don't match. Take it from me, she's a better catch.
This comment just irks me so bad. So, say no to single moms. Okay. My followers, I need y'all to answer this. Would you date someone who has kids? Yes or no? Because I have kids. People I've dated in the past have kids, and they've all stepped up. They were great people in their lives. So this don't bother me if y'all go to my original video where that comment came from. Oh, he wanted to go on and on about, oh, I've been married 15 years with kids and I would never date a single mom. That his wife doesn't have to work and that she wears 100. Nobody freaking cares. But anyways, so yeah, I just need to know y'all. Do your thing. Comment yes or no. Would you date a single parent?
I don't understand how a woman can say she's dated great people in her life, as in multiple men, and, as she said, They all stepped up to be stepdaddies, but the reality is, where are they now? It just proves that the problem isn't the men, it's her inability to maintain a healthy relationship. You can't keep saying every man you've dated was great, that they stepped up, and still end up single every time. Clearly, something deeper is wrong. It shows that having good men around doesn't automatically make a woman happy if she doesn't appreciate or respect what she has. You can have the best intentions from men, but if your attitude, ego, or past trauma keeps sabotaging the connection, then no one's going to stick around. Eventually, those great guys get tired of being tested, disrespected, or treated like they're disposable. And that's the thing most women like her don't realize. Men who are willing to step into that role, to care for kids that aren't theirs, are rare. When those men walk away, it says a lot, because it means they gave it their best, but she made it impossible to build anything real.
People are mad because women don't want to have children anymore. They don't want to be mothers anymore. But American culture doesn't value mothers. A lot of men no longer value women for giving them children. Since the prevalence of hookup culture, women have been giving men children left and right. Supply and demand, when something's so readily available, loses its value, you no longer value it as much. Bringing life into this world has to be one of the most amazing things that you can do. However, it does come at a price. Women risk their health, they risk their lives, and their bodies change, not always for the better. It changes her body in a way that society views as ruining it, which is the problem. When women breastfeed, their breast, for lack of a better word, sag. For a lot of women, a good majority, when they get pregnant, their belly grows. That results in stretch marks. That results in your skin stretching. And a lot of the time, it won't go back to normal. It's really easy for men to sit there and say, well, hey, just work out. These scars are seen as something negative, something that women are often demeaned for. And before women start blaming men or men start blaming women, both men and women in society do this. If we start to demean women for the results of what happens after you bring life into this world, why would they want to continue to do so? And then you hear a lot of criticism about women after they give birth. Oh, she let herself go. She doesn't look the same. Of course not. For starters, a woman's body will take from 6 to 9 months to fully heal from the pregnancy. Not to mention the insane amount of time it takes to care for a newborn or even a toddler. If a woman doesn't have the husband or the father's support and also has to work, which is the case nowadays, how are you going to expect her to have time to work out, have the energy to work out, still take care of the kids? And it happens more often than not now that the fathers aren't supportive and they're very critical of their wives or girlfriends or whatever after they have children. Not all men are like this. There are still very good men out there, which is why it's important to pick the right partner. And I know there are women who are bad partners too and bad mothers. That's not what I'm talking about right now. Because I know the comments are going to be full of, oh, but there's bad mothers. Oh, but I'm a good father. I know there's really good people out there, but that's not the point. The point is that when a woman is putting herself last and her children first, and as a result, she doesn't appear to take care of herself anymore, instead of being impressed by her priorities, we demean these women. Again, it's equally from both men and women. And yes, I understand there are really good men out there that treat their wives with respect, that value their wives, that appreciate them for everything that they've done. Go look for those men, not somebody else's husband. Go find a good one that's not married. But if you want to understand why a lot of women don't want to be mothers, it's because they've seen how society has treated mothers. They saw how their father treated their mother, which is why it's important that as a father, you treat your wife really well as well, because your kids are watching. So a lot of women have learned to prioritize themselves over continuously making sacrifices that were never appreciated and ended up costing them their entire lives in the long run. And yes, I'm very well aware that men experience a version of this, which is why a lot of them no longer want to be fathers or husbands anymore. But that's not what I'm talking about right now, and I'll make a video about that in the future. So don't make this about that either.
Some of that is true, but the main reason why many women don't want to be mothers anymore is because they've been conditioned to believe that motherhood is a form of limitation, that having a child or building a family somehow means you've given up on yourself. Society keeps feeding women this narrative that success equals freedom, travel, money, and independence. And that motherhood is the opposite of all that. They're constantly told, why settle down when you can chase your dreams? Or, kids will ruin your body, your career, your freedom. And over time, that message sinks in so deeply that even the thought of being a nurturing, loving mother starts to sound like weakness. The sad part is, they don't realize that the same freedom they're chasing often leads to loneliness, burnout, and regret later in life. Motherhood isn't holding you back. It's a different kind of fulfillment. But modern culture glamorizes independence so much that women start to see family life as a burden instead of a blessing. They're trading long-term emotional peace for short-term validation from careers, social media, and self-love movements that rarely bring real happiness.